Welcome to Make a Path Presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk The Walking Dead TV show Q&A 71. This we're going to answer a lot of questions focused on Season 6, Episode 9, which is the mid-season premiere. Let's jump right into this. Oh, also, if you guys are asking a lot of questions in the previous videos, and I'm not really answering them in the next following videos, I recorded these 6 videos back to back so I could put them all out one day at a time during the holiday season. So I'm stockpiling your other questions for future Q&As. So just want to put that out there. Don't worry, I'm going to get to them. Anyway, I know it was only because of the holidays things got a little jumbled. But anyway, let's jump right into this. How do you think the Morgan episode and his story will affect his future on the show if the wolf kills someone or hurts someone close to Rick? Do you think Rick and those with him will catch the wolf escaping with Denise? Yes, I do believe that's all going to collide together at the same time. And I do believe that this is going to change Morgan maybe a little bit. But I do think it'll change him for the better of his character, more further development. But if the wolf hurts somebody close to Rick, for example, yeah, I think it will change Morgan dramatically. Mother Dick, do you think Morgan will kill the wolf in episode 9? You know, Morgan's knocked out right now, so I'm not sure. I'm going to have to just go with the walkers are going to tear the wolf down and the wolf will go out in a blaze of glory. You know what I mean? Rick Grimes Crow. Q&A. I have 2 Qs that I would really like to hear your thoughts on. I saw Kirkman's panel at New York Comic Con and he confirmed we'll have a time skip in 6B. Since we know it won't happen in the break between A and B, and what do you think about having the time skip between 2 regular episodes in the middle of the season since we never had it before, and how do you think they'll do it? Do you think it will be a major time skip? Or listen, I think it'll just be a small time skip over a few weeks. And another thing is, yeah, I think it's fine to have a time skip, you know, that's not during the break, because essentially it's a break for us on TV, but when you watch on DVD or on Netflix, there's no break between 8 and 9. You see what I'm saying? So you have to look at the complete season as one season. Even though we watch it, you know, and there's a break because of the holiday, again, there's just no break in the season when you watch it. You know what I mean? Like the way it should be afterwards, I'm saying. So, yeah, I think it's completely fine. A time skip between 8 and 9 is no different than between 12 and 13, in my opinion. And your second question is, do you think the wolf manages to escape without killing Denise or anybody? He could be the redemption we need for Morgan. Later on, he comes back into the story and does something, maybe not even on purpose, that results in Rick and Alexandria in a really dangerous situation. Morgan turns out to be right in this situation when everyone considers him wrong. Listen, it'd be nice for Morgan to get some you know, redemption and be right. You know what I mean? But it feels like they went out of their way to craft this story where everyone's going to be coming together during this herd thing. I don't see that happening. If it does happen, awesome, but it feels like they're bringing it together for the mid-season premiere for something bad to all happen together. You know, because think about it. Rick and them are coming down the porch. The wolf and Denise are escaping. It only makes logical sense that they would be somewhere in the vicinity of the same area together, you know. Moving on. Kim T. Hey Ronnie, do you think when we come back to episode 9 to Rick and the group walking through the herd, do you think they will play the scene exactly how it went in the comic? No, I don't believe it'll be exactly how it went. I think it should be similar. I'm hoping it's very similar, but there should obviously be some differences. They should really flesh out the fighting, or not flesh it out, but really focus on it. In the comic, it's panel by panel, but on a show, holy shit, it could be epic. So yeah, I'm hoping they capitalize on that gladiator, you know, or gladiator battling the zombies shit going on. Danny T23. Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham try to get the guns out. Will they? And fight the Saviors. We talked about that in a previous Q&A. If they give it up to the Saviors and they follow them back to Alexandria. Yeah, the questions here are worded really weird, but we talked about that in a previous Q&A. Assuming the Saviors steal the truck from Daryl, Sasha, and does Negan use it to destroy the wall at Alexandria? You know, he could use Patty, the truck, to destroy the walls, but then again, he can use any truck. And I would actually prefer him use one that's similar to the comic, because it has that iconic look to it. If you go back and see him on the hood of the truck. Then again, Yeah, stick with that. We don't need their truck to bash in the walls. But yeah, it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't, tell them to show them where they're from as far as Daryl and them. But go ahead and check that out in a previous Q&A. I answered that. King Justify. Hey Ronnie, do you think that the Glenn fake out was used to test how fans actually react to huge character deaths? Yeah, I think everything is a test. Everything they do that's really dramatic and really pulls a response from the fans, all of it in one way or another is a test. So yeah. But I don't believe they said, let's do this scene solely to test them out. If they did, they did. Joe Cool. Do you think Glenn will divulge his near-death scare to Maggie? If so, will Maggie request to Rick to ban Glenn from any future supply runs or jobs outside the wall? You know what? To be honest, I think that would be pretty damn cool. If he describes it to Maggie and it changes him in a way where he might not even want to go out and do those runs. He might want to stay in and do a job on the inside, protect his own. He's going to be a father now, and he might want to even want to move to the hilltop because of his near-death experience. And then when the Saviors are attacking Alexandria, he might be like, listen, Maggie, you know what? They could kill us. They could kill me. And I want to be here to raise my daughter with you, or my son or daughter. I want us to grow old together, even though it's a shitty world. We should move to the hilltop. They've been working with the Saviors already. They have something set up. But that's if it changes him in that aspect and he reveals that. I think that would be pretty cool. Q&A number 2, you asked, what callback to a previous episode or scene or line would you like to see in a future episode? I think it would be emotionally gripping to have Carol or Daryl see a Cherokee Rose in a quiet moment during an immediate aftermath of the other's demise. I think they can't do that anymore because they already did that. When Daryl was fumbling in episode 6 to get his crossbow out and he shoots the walker falls and there's a Cherokee Rose there. So to do that again might be overkill. But I see what you mean. If you just use that as an example, I see what you mean. As far as an emotional callback, I'd probably have to think about that. I don't have one off the top of my head. Crypt 2 Night. Did Morgan burn down the house Rick had before the zombie apocalypse? Someone mentioned in Clear, and it got me thinking, you know what? It said it burned down, but I don't think Rick did it. Or, I'm sorry, I don't think Morgan did it. Morgan accidentally burnt down his own house. To say that Morgan would, accidentally burn down multiple houses gets a little like, really? It's kind of like, man, how did he survive? Is if he's accidentally burning houses down. He did one, I'll give him the one, but no, I think that it just, burned down on its own. People forget, listen, you could get, a storm, lightning could cause a fire, and there goes half the frickin' town. If there's no firefighters or nothing to contain it, like us as people keep shit going pretty good in society. Shit like, natural disasters, even storms, I don't know, electrical fires early on. There's so much shit that could potentially cause a fire, and there's no fire companies, no one's calling, so I could buy it just burning down, M. Foster 221. What relationship between two characters do you like the best? For me, it's Daryl and Rick and Glenn and Rick. Just so much respect in both these relationships. I love the dialogue they share. Between two characters, I really like the back and forth between Rick and Michonne. Actually, I love it in both the comic, especially, because it's deeper than... there's more of it than in the show, because there's just more comic. But on the show, I love it between Rick and Michonne, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I don't want them to get involved in a relationship, because I already love their chemistry and their relationships as best friends. I already love it so much. It's like, why even go the next step? Again, it's at a ceiling for me. I absolutely love it. It's so great. As far as any other characters and their back and forth, I'm cool with Daryl and Carol. I love their shit, especially when they're being comical. In season 3, when Carol was making a joke about them hooking up, that was funny. In season 5 when he makes fun of her sweater, shit like that. I like their back and forth. Even Michonne and Carl, they got some good banter back and forth. So, Patrick Campbell, how long do you think the show will run for, and what do you think what do you think of these awful mid-season breaks? To be honest with you, listen, the show's going to run for 12 seasons at least. Let's be honest, 10 to 12, sure. As far as the mid-season breaks, I'm actually fine with them. I'm probably one of the only fans that's cool with them. I'm sure there's a few, but for a couple reasons. One, it's so busy during the holidays. That's fine. I don't care. But now that I'm a content creator, it's completely fine now, because now it adds more time between the season to touch base with fans. If we just burn through the entire season and it's just basically like review, prediction, Q&A, review, prediction, Q&A, review, prediction, Q&A for 16 weeks, it's like, ugh. But if you do 8 weeks, then you take a break and you pump out, mad different videos and then touch base on this and then that, I don't know. I'm cool with the break. I understand they're shitty, but I'm fine with them. Chris R., do you think the TV show will ruin Negan by being too PC? Thought they made the governor way less scary than the comic books. Listen, this is a pretty good question, and honestly, I do worry about it. I absolutely do worry about it, because I feel like the governor in season 3, he did lose some kind of edge that the comic book had, as far as being just a fucking sick nutcase psychopath, creepy, scary, just gross. You just looked at his face and he gave you the chills. You're disgusting. You'd read the comic and have to go take a shower, you know what I mean? They cleaned that up somewhat for the governor. As far as for Negan, I am really hoping they don't make it PC, but then again, I fear that a lot in entertainment nowadays, because we get so many complainers and, the PC elitists, and it's, oh God. One thing I am not okay with is political correctness in entertainment. I'm not okay with the offended culture in entertainment. Well, when you have a bad guy and he is just a piece of shit, he is a piece of shit. I talked about this in another video, but yeah, it's something I worry about, but right now I have faith that they're going to do it good. Because keep in mind, I loved Season 4 Governor, and that was the same team we have now. Season 3 Governor, there was a lot I was disappointed with, but I'm holding out, and I'll get back to that when we see Negan on the TV show, because it's the same group of people that brought us, TV Governor, with the same leader. That's very important, because I hear the showrunner has a lot of say, and we had a different showrunner, so that could trickle down into different things going on with the writing and how everything came together, Surprise ending. Subscribe now.